Squirrel Hill is the quintessential urban, but feels like a town neighborhood.
Literally, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. It is one of the most friendly, welcoming places.
I've lived in Squirrel Hill all my life. It's just a wonderful place to grow up and to live.
I saw police running down our streets in our quiet, serene neighborhood.
My phone did not stop. It kept going until I finally saw the message that it's a hot zone, meaning live gunfire is still happening. I knew it was at a synagogue. I'm thinking this is probably a hate crime.
Ambulances and police cars and SWAT teams from across the region came pouring in, and you could look as they ran by you. And I was standing with Mayor Peduto as we started to recognize some of what was going on. And I can remember saying to him, we're gonna know every single victim.
My mom was a wonderful mother. She was strong, she was funny, she was good, she was kind.
Cecil would go and he knew everybody in the synagogue. He would welcome anybody that walked through the doors. David would hand out the books, make sure people were in the places where they had to be. Both of them loved going to the Tree of Life Synagogue.
It was a normal Saturday morning. I went over to the house and picked her up. She was always ready. Walked into the chapel and saw some people there and were talking to them for a few minutes, and then we went and sat down, and shortly after that is when it all started.
There was one horrible, horrible person that day, and hundreds, if not thousands, of heroes.
We began supporting community already having known each other, worked with each other, and that allowed us to move into support and recovery mode very quickly.
The entire community, faith-based community, community leaders, law enforcement, in such a show of solidarity.
Everybody came out and stood shoulder to shoulder with us, but we knew we needed something for the long haul here in the community.
It would be a place that would care for those directly affected, members of the congregations, members of the community, and members of the city.
This would be a hub, that there were already all these resources in the community that everybody was clamoring to offer, but no one knew how to get there.
After a community has a communal trauma, it shouldn't be the burden only of that community to heal, to support each other, and to face the challenges that come afterwards.
I came into the space as a first responder, and I met with the head of the organization, Maggie, who sat me down and just wanted to hear my experience. And that was so healing for me.
They were there for us. They were there for the community. They provide therapy, they provide programs. Just knowing that they're there to go in and get a hug and a smile is therapy for me.
It's just like that 50-ton backpack you're carrying. You can set it down for a few minutes and say, okay, I can breathe. It's a special place to me.
We looked for creative programming that may appeal to people who otherwise haven't walked through a door before, hadn't found the right door for healing, and we tried a lot of different things.
When media calls or when there's a debate about who should participate in a memorial, having that centralized location and having the staff with the expertise who have done this before, who have been trained, who understand, really helped those of us who were on the outside trying to be supportive to be the most supportive we can.
Maggie often says there's no wrong door to turn to. For some people, they need that additional support. They need to talk to a counselor. They need to be part of a drum circle. They need to be part of a forest walk. For other people, they just need to know that community is there for them.
The great thing about forest therapy is that the forest is the therapist. What makes this particular partnership so incredible is that each walk we have a licensed trauma therapist. And so for anyone experiencing trauma, there is someone there to help you really work through those feelings, to work through those emotions, to just really embrace and heal.
I think 1027 Healing Partnership provided so many different people with different tools to build their own individual resiliency.
It's all about, regrowth and regeneration, and that can happen internally when we come together in community to support each other. And it also happens in the garden space, right? We're planting seeds, we're sowing seeds of resiliency to come up later in the season to harvest and nourish our own bodies.
Healing is a long process, and you never move past something, you move with it.
We pulled together members of the community, survivors, the victims' families, and the media to just have a conversation. Their trauma is ongoing, that the trial is not just another marker and it's not the end of the process, but it's part of their ongoing experience. So often we just dive into who's got the first story or the best story, and we forget to think about who we're covering and who that broader impact is.
The first section that I'm going to talk about is the criminal justice system and criminal trials, to bring everybody the knowledge that you need, the facts you need in order to understand what is going on. Understanding brings strength, and strength brings resilience.
Nothing we can do will bring them back, but I want justice for Cecil and David. The 1027 Healing Partnership's preparation for a trial that has taken 4.5 years to happen means so much to the families.
The work of the 1027 Healing Partnership is not done. Their work is not done with the individuals. The work is not done with the community.
There are still very much threats to the Jewish community that have only grown over the past couple of years. And we need this healing partnership to keep us tied together and to keep that healing process going.
We're now part of a club that no one ever wants to be part of. A club of communities that have experienced this kind of violence. Our 1027 Healing Partnership has been able to pass on their knowledge to some of the communities that are just now experiencing violence.
I hear bang, bang, bang. And then people went and hit the floor underneath the pews. It was horrific. I needed counsel, and I needed to talk to people who had been there before. Maggie called. How was the staff doing? How was the congregation doing? And it actually tears me up because I needed to know somebody cared and somebody was thinking of us and how to get through this trauma.
The 1027 Healing Partnership has been so well respected around the country as a leader in how to respond to the community after a trauma such as this.
It's long past time for this Commonwealth to use every tool out there to deter and identify these crimes and to stop them. That is how we stand against hate. That is how we help our communities thrive and celebrate and share their gifts and joys to the world.
We can't just turn insular. We have to recognize that if we have any benefit and we have any opportunities for healing, that we also allow that to be spread among other people who unfortunately are attacked also for their identity.
I want us to be change makers, and I think that's what the Healing Partnership has the potential to do.
They help so many people, and I just think they need to be around for a little while longer.